The 50 most famous sculptures in world history. Number 50. Equestrian statue of Marcus Aurelius. Capitoline Museums, Rome. The equestrian statue of Marcus Aurelius, created around 176 AD, is one of the few surviving bronze equestrian statues from ancient Rome. Located in the Capitoline Museums of Rome, this masterpiece depicts Emperor Marcus Aurelius riding a horse, projecting an image of serene power and benevolent authority. The statue shows the emperor with an outstretched hand in a gesture of clemency, possibly symbolizing his role as a just and philosophical ruler. The absence of weapons and armor suggests a more peaceful and reflective representation of imperial leadership. The detailed facial features and horse anatomy reflect the technical skill of Roman artists and their attention to realism. Originally, the statue was gilded, which would have increased its majesty and presence in the public space. It is believed to have survived the bronze melting practices of the Middle Ages, used for minting coins or making weapons, due to the mistaken belief that it represented the Christian emperor Constantine the Great. The equestrian statue of Marcus Aurelius is not only an exceptional work of art but also a historical testimony to the greatness of Rome and the figure of the emperor as both a philosopher and leader. Its influence extends over centuries, inspiring Renaissance artists and beyond, remaining an icon of equestrian sculpture and Roman cultural legacy. Number 49. Walking Man. Alberto Giacometti. Walking Man, created in 1961 by Swiss sculptor Alberto Giacometti, is one of the most emblematic works of 20th century art. The sculpture depicts an elongated and stylized human figure in mid-movement, capturing the essence of existence and the human condition in a simplified yet profoundly expressive form. The figure, with its thin limbs and textured surface, appears almost ethereal, as if in a state of constant transition. Giacometti conveys a sense of vulnerability and resilience simultaneously, reflecting the complexities of human experience in the modern era, especially in the post-war context. The work is considered a symbol of perseverance and solitude, representing the individual moving through space and time. The absence of facial details or specific clothing universalizes the figure, allowing viewers to project their own interpretations and emotions. Walking Man has had a significant impact on the art world and has reached record prices at auctions, underscoring its cultural and artistic importance. The sculpture is a testament to Giacometti's talent for encapsulating deep themes in seemingly simple forms, cementing his place as one of the most influential artists of the 20th century. Number 48. Gates of Paradise. Lorenzo Ghiberti. Baptistry of Florence, Italy. The Gates of Paradise, created by Lorenzo Ghiberti between 1425 and 1452, are the majestic eastern doors of the Baptistry of Florence. Composed of 10 gilded bronze panels, they depict scenes from the Old Testament with unprecedented detail and sophistication for their time. Ghiberti employed innovative techniques of perspective and relief to create deep and dynamic compositions. Each panel is a work of art in itself, filled with delicately sculpted figures and detailed architectural landscapes. The masterful use of space and visual narrative reflects the flowering of the Renaissance and its focus on humanism and individuality. The name, Gates of Paradise, was coined by Michelangelo, who was impressed by their beauty. These doors not only marked a milestone in Renaissance sculpture but also influenced generations of later artists. Ghiberti's ability to combine art, history, and theology in a cohesive work is a testament to his creative genius. Today, the original doors are preserved in the Museo dell'Opera del Duomo for conservation, while exact replicas adorn the baptistry. The Gates of Paradise remain a symbol of Florence's artistic splendor and a manifestation of the limitless potential of human genius. Number 47. Angel of Independence. Mexico City, Mexico. Inaugurated in 1910, the Angel of Independence is one of the most iconic monuments in Mexico City. Located on the Paseo de la Reforma, it was erected to commemorate the centenary of the beginning of the Mexican War of Independence. The 36-meter-high Corinthian column is topped by a gilded bronze statue of winged victory, holding a laurel crown and a broken chain, symbols of victory and freedom. The design was the work of architect Antonio Rivas Mercado, and the winged victory sculpture was created by Italian artist Enrique Alciati. At the base of the monument, there are figures of national heroes such as Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla, José María Morelos y Pavón, and other key leaders in the fight for independence. The Angel of Independence is not only a historical tribute but also a place of celebration and protest. It is common for citizens to gather around the monument to celebrate sports events, social demonstrations, and national commemorations. This monument has withstood the test of time and various events, including earthquakes that required its restoration. Nevertheless, it remains a lasting symbol of national pride and Mexican identity, representing the perseverance and indomitable spirit of the country. Number 46. Statues of Mount Nemrut, Turkey. The statues of Mount Nemrut are part of an impressive archaeological complex located at the summit of Mount Nemrut in southeastern Turkey. Built in the 1st century BC under the mandate of King Antiochus I of Commagene, these colossal statues are part of a funerary complex that combines elements of Greek, Persian, and Armenian cultures. The statues, up to 9 meters tall, represent various gods and King Antiochus himself, seated on thrones and aligned on the east and west terraces of the mountain. Although the heads have detached from the bodies due to erosion and earthquakes, they remain impressive in their detail and majesty. The site is a unique blend of cultural and religious influences, reflecting Antiochus' attempt to legitimize his reign and deify himself. The inscriptions found at the site provide valuable information about the beliefs and practices of the time. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987, Mount Nemrut is a popular destination for archaeologists and tourists. The panoramic views and the mystical aura of the place, especially at sunrise and sunset, make the statues of Mount Nemrut an unforgettable experience that connects visitors with the ancient civilizations of Anatolia. Number 45. Spiral Jetty, Robert Smithson. The Spiral Jetty, created in 1970 by American artist Robert Smithson, is one of the most prominent works of the land art movement. Located in the Great Salt Lake of Utah, USA, this sculpture consists of a spiral made of basalt rock, earth, and salt that extends into the lake, stretching approximately 460 meters from the shore. Smithson built the spiral jetty using natural materials from the site, emphasizing the interaction between the work and the environment. The sculpture is subject to fluctuations in water level and environmental conditions, meaning it is sometimes submerged and other times emerged, constantly changing its appearance. The choice of a spiral symbolizes concepts of infinity, continuity, and the cyclical relationship between art and nature. The work invites reflection on human impact on the environment and the passage of time. Being located in a remote site, it also questions conventions of exhibition and accessibility in art. The Spiral Jetty is considered a seminal work in land art and has influenced numerous artists and later movements. The piece continues to challenge traditional perceptions of art and remains a monument to Smithson's artistic innovation and exploration. Number 44. Puppy, Jeff Coons. Puppy, created in 1992 by American artist Jeff Coons, is a monumental sculpture that depicts a West Highland White Terrier puppy made of live flowers. Standing over 12 meters tall, The work is located at the entrance of the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao in Spain. The sculpture consists of a stainless steel structure covered with a substrate that supports thousands of vibrant flowers, including petunias, begonias, and marigolds. The flowers are changed seasonally, allowing Puppy's appearance to evolve over time. The work combines elements of classical and contemporary art, merging the tradition of formal European gardens with the aesthetics of pop art and kitsch. Puppy is interpreted as a celebration of innocence, joy, and optimism, though it can also be seen as a critique of consumer culture and superficiality. Jeff Koons is known for his focus on everyday objects and his ability to generate debate about the value and meaning of art. Puppy is one of his most beloved and accessible works, attracting visitors from all over the world and becoming an icon of Bilbao's cultural landscape. Number 43. Balloon Dog. Jeff Koons. Balloon Dog is a series of sculptures created by Jeff Koons beginning in 1994. These works depict a dog made of party balloons, but realized in high-quality stainless steel with a mirror finish and coated in vibrant colors like red, blue, yellow, orange, and magenta. The sculptures vary in size, from tabletop pieces to installations over 3 meters tall, exploring themes of childhood, joy, and the celebration of the ephemeral in a permanent form. The contrast between the light, temporary appearance of a balloon and the heavy, durable material of stainless steel creates an interesting tension in the work. Balloon Dog is seen as a commentary on consumer culture and the value of art in contemporary society. The work has been exhibited in museums and galleries worldwide and has reached record prices at auctions, underscoring its impact on the art market. The series is emblematic of Koons' style, which often uses everyday objects and elevates them to the category of high art. Balloon Dog continues to generate debate about originality, kitsch, and the perception of value in modern art. Number 42. Sunflower Seeds. Ai Weiwei. Sunflower seeds, created between 2008 and 2010 by Chinese artist Ai Weiwei, is an installation composed of over 100 million porcelain sunflower seeds, handmade and painted by artisans in Jingdezhen, China. The work was first exhibited in the Turbine Hall of the Tate Modern in London. The installation covers the ground with a thick layer of seeds, initially inviting visitors to walk on them and physically participate in the work. However, due to health concerns over porcelain dust, interaction was later limited. In China, sunflower seeds have multiple meanings, representing friendship, happiness, and sustenance. During the Cultural Revolution, images of sunflowers were common in propaganda, symbolizing the people looking towards Mao Zedong as sunflowers to the sun. Ai Weiwei uses this metaphor to comment on conformity, mass production, and individuality in contemporary Chinese society. The work also highlights Chinese craftsmanship and cultural traditions while criticizing the loss of individuality in the era of mass production. Sunflower Seeds is a powerful example of Ai Weiwei's conceptual and political art, often challenging the viewer to reflect on profound social and political issues. Number 41. Victory Column. Berlin, Germany. The Victory Column, Siegessäule in German, is a historic monument located in Berlin's Tiergarten. Inaugurated in 1873, the column commemorates Prussia's military victories in the wars against Denmark, Austria, and France. Designed by Heinrich Strack, the column stands 67 meters tall and is topped by a gilded bronze statue of the goddess Victoria, affectionately known as Goldels by Berliners. The Victoria statue measures 8.3 meters and depicts the winged goddess holding a staff and a laurel wreath. The column is adorned with captured cannons and reliefs narrating Prussian victories. Originally located in front of the Reichstag, The column was moved to its current location in 1938 as part of the Nazi urban planning projects. Visitors can climb the 285 steps to the observation platform, which offers panoramic views of the city. The Victory Column is a symbol of Germany's military history and has been the site of cultural and political events, including the Love Parade and historic speeches. The monument has withstood the tumultuous events of the 20th century and remains an important landmark in Berlin, representing both the past and the resilience and renewal of the city. Number 40. Horse Tamers on Anichkov Bridge. St. Petersburg, Russia. The horse tamers statues on Anichkov Bridge are a set of 4 bronze sculptures that adorn this iconic bridge over the Fontanka River in St. Petersburg, Russia. Created between 1849 and 1850 by Russian sculptor Pyotr Klot, each sculpture depicts a young man taming a rearing horse, capturing different stages of the interaction between man and animal. These masterpieces of Russian art combine realism and romanticism, showing a deep understanding of equine and human anatomy. The statues symbolize the struggle and mastery of man over nature, as well as indomitable spirit and strength. During World War II, the sculptures were removed and hidden to protect them from bombings and later restored to their original splendor. The horse tamers statues are considered one of the most important sculptural ensembles in St. Petersburg and have influenced the city's urban aesthetics. Their strategic location on Anichkov Bridge makes them a reference point and an indispensable tourist attraction for those visiting the former imperial capital of Russia. Number 39. Memorial to the Murdered Jews of Europe. Berlin, Germany. Inaugurated in 2005, the Memorial to the Murdered Jews of Europe is a memorial located in central Berlin, dedicated to the 6 million Jewish victims of the Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Designed by architect Peter Eisenman and engineer Buro Happold, the monument covers an area of 19,000 square meters and consists of 2,711 concrete steles of varying heights arranged in a grid. The abstract and minimalist design of the monument seeks to evoke a sense of confusion and disorientation when walking among the steles, symbolizing the loss, isolation, and horror experienced during the Holocaust. Beneath the field of steles is an information center that provides historical context, testimonies, and pays tribute to individual victims. The memorial has been a subject of debate and reflection on how contemporary society remembers and confronts its past. The Memorial to the Murdered Jews of Europe is now a place of contemplation and learning, serving as a reminder of past atrocities and a warning to future generations about the dangers of hatred and intolerance. Number 38. Monument to the Discoveries. Lisbon, Portugal. The Monument to the Discoveries, Padrão dos Descobrimentos, is an imposing structure located on the northern bank of the Tagus River in Lisbon. Originally built in 1960 to commemorate the 500th anniversary of the death of Prince Henry the Navigator, the monument celebrates the Portuguese Age of Discoveries in the 15th and 16th centuries. Designed by architect Cotonelli Telmo and sculptor Leopoldo de Almeida, the monument takes the shape of a stylized caravel, standing 52 meters tall. At its prow stands the figure of Prince Henry, followed by statues of 32 other historical figures, including explorers, cartographers, artists, and missionaries who played key roles in the maritime expeditions. The monument symbolizes the adventurous spirit and Portugal's contribution to global knowledge and cultural exchange. In the front plaza, a 50-meter diameter windrose and a mosaic map illustrate exploration routes. The Monument to the Discoveries is a cultural and tourist landmark offering panoramic views from its top, connecting Portugal's exploratory past with the present. Number 37. The Bronze Horsemen. St. Petersburg, Russia. The Bronze Horsemen is an equestrian statue depicting Tsar Peter the Great, founder of St. Petersburg. Inaugurated in 1782 by order of Empress Catherine the Great, the sculpture was created by French sculptor Étienne Maurice Falconet and stands in Senate Square. The statue shows Peter the Great riding a rearing horse, dominating a massive rock symbolizing the challenges overcome to modernize Russia. The horse steps on a snake, representing internal and external enemies. The work is a symbol of the Tsar's power, vision, and determination to transform his nation. The Bronze Horsemen has acquired an almost mythical significance in Russian culture, immortalized in the eponymous poem by Alexander Pushkin. The statue has withstood wars and revolutions and remains an emblem of St. Petersburg, reflecting the city's historical grandeur and innovative spirit. Number 36. The Caryatids of the Erechtheion. Acropolis of Athens, Greece. The Caryatids of the Erechtheion are 6 female sculptures serving as columns supporting the southern porch of the Erechtheion Temple on the Acropolis of Athens. Built between 421 and 406 BC, these figures are exceptional examples of classical Greek art and the fusion of structural function with aesthetic beauty. Each caryatid is carved with meticulous details, showing elaborate hairstyles and draped garments that fall in elegant folds. They represent young women from Carii, an ancient city in Laconia, symbolizing grace and female strength. One of the original statues was removed by Lord Elgin in the 19th century and resides in the British Museum, which has sparked controversy and debates about repatriation. The remaining original statues have been moved to the Acropolis Museum for preservation, and exact replicas occupy their place in the Erechtheion. The caryatids continue to be a symbol of the artistic legacy of ancient Greece and a must-see attraction for visitors to Athens. Number 35. The Veiled Virgin. Giovanni Strazza. The Veiled Virgin is a marble sculpture created by Italian artist Giovanni Strazza in the 1850s. The work depicts the bust of the Virgin Mary covered with a transparent veil carved from marble, creating an astonishing illusion of delicacy and realism. Strazza's technical skill is evident in the way the veil seems to simultaneously reveal and conceal the serene face of the Virgin, showcasing his mastery in sculpting fine textures and details. The sculpture is an outstanding example of neoclassical art and reflects religious devotion and the pursuit of ideal beauty. Currently, the Veiled Virgin is located in the Basilica Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. The work is appreciated for its artistic virtuosity and its ability to inspire contemplation and reverence. Number 34. Ka Statue of Cfra. Egyptian Museum, Cairo. The Ka Statue of Cfra is a diorite sculpture representing Pharaoh Khafra, builder of the Second Pyramid of Giza during the 4th dynasty, around 2570 BC. Discovered in the Valley Temple of his funerary complex, the statue is on display in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. The figure shows Khafra seated on a throne adorned with symbols of the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. Behind his head, the falcon god Horus extends his wings, protecting the pharaoh and emphasizing his divine status. The sculpture is notable for its realism, symmetry, and the quality of the diorite's polish. The Ka statue of Khafra is significant both artistically and spiritually, as it was believed to serve as a vessel for the pharaoh's Ka, or vital spirit in the afterlife. The work reflects the skill and sophistication of ancient Egyptian sculptors and offers deep insight into the beliefs and funerary practices of the time. Number 33. Charging Bull. Arturo di Modica. New York, USA. The Charging Bull, also known as the Wall Street Bull, is an iconic bronze sculpture created by Sicilian artist Arturo di Modica in 1989. Located in Bowling Green Park, near the heart of New York's financial district, the sculpture is a symbol of strength, optimism, and prosperity. D. Modica created and placed the sculpture anonymously as a gift to the city in response to the 1987 stock market crash. The bull, captured in a dynamic and energetic posture, represents the spirit of recovery and the energy of the stock market. The work has been adopted as an unofficial symbol of Wall Street and attracts millions of tourists each year. The charging bull has been the subject of interpretations and debates, especially in relation to themes of capitalism and financial power. The sculpture continues to be a cultural landmark and a reflection of the economic pulse of New York City. Number 32. Rondanini P. Michelangelo. Milan, Italy. The Rondanini P. is the last sculpture Michelangelo Buonarroti worked on before his death in 1564. The unfinished work is located in the Sforza Castle in Milan and depicts the Virgin Mary holding the body of Christ after the crucifixion. Unlike his famous Pietà in the Vatican, the Rondanini Pietà is more abstract and elongated, showing an evolution in Michelangelo's style toward more expressive and spiritual forms. The sculpture conveys a profound sense of sorrow and compassion, with figures that seem to merge into a single block of marble. The unfinished state of the work allows appreciation of the artist's creative process and adds an emotional and human dimension to the piece. The Rondanini Pietà is considered a masterpiece reflecting Michelangelo's philosophical and spiritual concerns in his later years, continuing to inspire artists and admirers of Renaissance art. Number 31. The Great Buddha of Kamakura. Japan. The Great Buddha of Kamakura is a monumental bronze statue of the Amida Buddha located at the Kotoku-in Temple in Kamakura, Japan. Built in the 13th century, the statue stands approximately 13.35 meters tall and is one of the most iconic images of Japanese Buddhism. Originally housed inside a large hall, the Great Buddha has remained outdoors since successive buildings were destroyed by typhoons and tsunamis in the 14th and 15th centuries. The statue is notable for its serenity and majesty, representing inner peace and enlightenment. Visitors can enter the hollow interior of the statue, which allows an appreciation of the engineering and craftsmanship of its construction. The Great Buddha of Kamakura is an important religious and tourist site that continues to be a symbol of Japan's cultural and spiritual heritage. Number 30. Mannequin Pies. Brussels, Belgium. Mannequin Pies is a small but celebrated fountain located in the heart of Brussels. The bronze statue, measuring just 61 centimeters, depicts a small boy urinating into the fountain. Created in 1619 by sculptor Jérôme de Quesnoy the Elder, it has become a symbol of the city and its sense of humor and independent spirit. Mannequin Pies is known for its extensive wardrobe. On special occasions, it is dressed in outfits reflecting festivals, cultural events, or diplomatic visits. The tradition of dressing the statue dates back to the 17th century and has generated over 900 costumes, some of which are displayed in the Museum of the City of Brussels. The statue has been stolen and recovered several times, and its image has inspired local legends and folklore. Mannequin Pies is a popular tourist attraction and continues to be a display of Brussels' unique and festive character. Number 29. Monument to Victor Emanuel II. Rome, Italy. Inaugurated in 1911 to commemorate the unification of Italy and honor the country's first king, Victor Emanuel II, the monument to Victor Emanuel II is one of the most imposing structures in Rome. Also known as Il Vittoriano, or Altare della Patria, this monument is a national symbol representing Italian identity and pride. Designed by architect Giuseppe Sacconi, the monument is primarily constructed from white Botticino marble and features a series of steps leading to a majestic Corinthian colonnade. At the center stands the equestrian statue of Victor Emanuel II, surrounded by allegories representing Italian regions. The base of the monument houses the altar of the fatherland and the tomb of the unknown soldier, where an eternal flame burns in honor of the fallen in wars. The monument's architecture combines classical and modern elements and has been the scene of historical events and national celebrations. Although it was initially criticized for its grand style and for altering the urban landscape, it is now one of the city's most visited and photographed places. The monument to Victor Emanuel II is not only an impressive architectural work but also a symbol of unity and a reminder of the efforts and sacrifices that led to the formation of modern Italy. Number 28. Wounded Amazon. Louvre Museum, Paris. The Wounded Amazon is a classical Greek sculpture dating back to the 5th century BC, attributed to the renowned sculptor Polykleitos. This masterpiece depicts a wounded Amazon warrior in a serene attitude despite being injured in the side. The sculpture captures the elegance and female strength characteristic of ancient Greek art. The figure is depicted standing, with a balanced posture that conceals the pain of her wound. Her light clothing and the detailed work in the folds of her garment demonstrate the artist's technical skill in sculpting marble with great realism. The Amazon's face reflects nobility and emotional control, attributes valued in Greek culture. Amazons were a recurring theme in Greek art, symbolizing otherness and the challenges faced by mythical heroes. The Wounded Amazon is especially significant for its humanized representation and for evoking empathy in the viewer. Currently, the sculpture is exhibited in the Louvre Museum in Paris, where it continues to be admired for its beauty and for the artistic mastery that reflects the aesthetic ideals of classical antiquity. Number 27. Monument to the Third International. Vladimir Tatlin. The monument to the Third International, designed by Vladimir Tatlin in 1920, is one of the most emblematic works of Russian constructivism, although it was never built. Conceived as a monumental 400-meter-high tower made of iron and glass, the project was intended to be the headquarters of the Third Communist International and a symbol of the revolutionary spirit of the new Soviet Russia. Tatlin's innovative design featured a double spiral structure surrounding 3 suspended geometric volumes: a cube, a pyramid, and a cylinder, each rotating at different speeds and intended for specific functions such as congresses, offices, and communications. The tower was meant to surpass the Eiffel Tower in height, representing the triumph of socialism and modernity. Although the monument to the Third International was not realized due to technical and economic limitations, its influence on 20th century architecture and art was significant. The tower became an icon of utopian idealism and the fusion of art and technology. Tatlin's project continues to be studied and admired for its audacity and vision, symbolizing the aspirations and contradictions of an era of social and political transformation. Number 26. Bird in Space. Constantine Brancusi. Between 1923 and 1940, Romanian sculptor Constantine Brancusi created the Bird in Space series, a group of sculptures that explore the essence of flight and pure form. Moving away from literal representation, Brancusi focused on capturing the movement and spirituality associated with the act of flying. The sculptures are made of polished bronze and marble, featuring elongated and aerodynamic shapes that eliminate figurative details. The smooth, reflective surface and upward lines convey a sense of infinity and transcendence. Brancusi's work was revolutionary in its time, breaking with sculptural traditions and paving the way for abstract art. In 1926, one of these sculptures was the subject of a legal case in the United States when customs authorities did not consider it art and wanted to impose a tariff. The case eventually legally recognized abstract sculpture as an art form. Bird in Space is recognized for its influence on modernism and for its ability to communicate complex ideas through simplicity and pure form. Number 25. Maman. Louise Bourgeois. Created in 1999 by Franco-American artist Louise Bourgeois, Maman is a towering sculpture of a giant spider, reaching 10 meters in height. Constructed from bronze, stainless steel, and marble, the spider holds a sack of eggs made of marble in its abdomen, combining elements of strength and fragility. The work is a tribute to Bourgeois' mother, who was a weaver, and represents motherhood, protection, and creativity. The spider is a recurring symbol in the artist's work, reflecting the complexity of family relationships and the emotions associated with them. Maman has been exhibited in museums and public spaces around the world, including the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao and the Tate Modern in London. The sculpture generates a powerful emotional reaction, confronting the viewer with feelings of fascination and fear. Bourgeois' work is fundamental in contemporary art for its deep exploration of personal and universal themes, using forms and materials that challenge conventions and evoke intense responses. Number 24. Cloudgate, the Bean. Anichkov, Chicago, USA. Installed in Chicago's Millennium Park in 2006, Cloudgate, popularly known as the Bean, is a public sculpture by British Indian artist Anichkov. The work consists of 168 polished stainless steel plates that create a seamless reflective surface, shaped like a seed or a drop of mercury. The sculpture measures 10 meters high, 20 meters long, and 13 meters wide, weighing 110 tons. Its mirror surface reflects Chicago's skyline and the sky, creating changing visual effects that interact with the environment and viewers. Visitors can walk around and beneath the sculpture, where the navel, a concave cavity, distorts reflections in intriguing ways. Cloudgate is celebrated for its ability to engage the public and transform urban space into an interactive artistic experience. The work has become an icon of Chicago, attracting millions of people and reflecting Kapoor's interest in perception, space, and the relationship between the artwork and the viewer. Number 23. The Angel of the North. Antony Gormley. Gateshead, England. The Angel of the North is a monumental steel sculpture created by British artist Antony Gormley, inaugurated in 1998 in Gateshead, northeastern England. The human figure with wings stands 20 meters tall with a wingspan of 54 meters, similar to that of a Boeing 747. The sculpture is located on a hill overlooking the A1 motorway and the railway line, being seen by over 90,000 people daily. The Angel of the North symbolizes the area's transition from its industrial past to a more creative and hopeful future. Constructed with 200 tons of Corten steel, the work is designed to withstand winds over 160 kilometers per hour and last at least 100 years. The wings are angled 3.5 degrees forward, giving a sense of welcome and protection. Although initially controversial, the Angel of the North has become a beloved and recognizable symbol, representing the connection between art, community, and landscape. Number 22. The Gates of Hell. Auguste Rodin. The Gates of Hell is a monumental work on which French sculptor Auguste Rodin worked for over 3 decades. Commissioned in 1880 for a museum that was never built, the work is inspired by Dante's Divine Comedy and reflects the torments and passions of the human soul. The gate, nearly 7 meters high, is adorned with over 200 figures in motion, some of which became independent sculptures, such as The Thinker and The Kiss. The figures represent scenes of love, despair, and damnation, capturing the emotional and psychological complexity of the characters. Rodin innovated in sculpting by leaving unfinished surfaces and textures that add dynamism and expressiveness to the work. The Gates of Hell is considered a masterpiece that revolutionized modern sculpture, influencing generations of artists. Several casts and versions of the work exist in museums worldwide, and it continues to be studied and admired for its artistic and philosophical depth. Number 21. The Motherland Calls. Volgograd, Russia. The Motherland Calls is a colossal statue located at Mamayev Kurgan in Volgograd, formerly Stalingrad, Russia. Inaugurated in 1967, it commemorates the heroic defense of the city during the Battle of Stalingrad in World War II. The statue stands 85 meters tall, including a 33-meter sword, and depicts a woman advancing with determination, calling her children to defend the homeland. The figure symbolizes the courage and sacrifice of the Soviet people in the face of the German invasion. Designed by sculptor Yevgeny Vuchedich and engineer Nikolai Nikitin, the statue was the tallest in the world at the time. Its construction was a technical challenge, using concrete and steel to support its enormous weight and size. The memorial complex at Mamayev Kurgan includes other sculptures and monuments, and it is a site of great historical and emotional significance for Russia. The Motherland Calls is a powerful reminder of the horrors of war and human resilience. Number 20. The Little Mermaid. Edvard Eriksson. Copenhagen, Denmark. The Little Mermaid is a bronze sculpture created by Danish sculptor Edvard Eriksson in 1913, based on the character from Hans Christian Andersen's eponymous tale. Located on the Langelini waterfront in Copenhagen, the statue measures 1.25 meters in height and has become an iconic symbol of the city in Denmark. The sculpture depicts a mermaid sitting on a rock, melancholically gazing towards the sea. The model for the work was Ellen Price, a dancer from the Royal Danish Ballet. Though she only posed for the head, the body was based on Eriksson's wife. The Little Mermaid has been the victim of vandalism on several occasions but has always been restored, reflecting its cultural and emotional importance to the Danish people. The statue attracts millions of tourists annually and remains an emblem of Denmark's rich literary and artistic tradition. The work captures the essence of Andersen's tale, conveying feelings of longing, love, and sacrifice, and continues to be a beloved figure in the collective imagination. Number 19. Nike of Pyos. Archaeological Museum of Olympia, Greece. The Nike of Pyos is a marble sculpture representing the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. Created around 420 BC by sculptor Pyos of Mendi, this classical masterpiece is located in the Archaeological Museum of Olympia, Greece. The sculpture was dedicated to Zeus by the Messenians and Naupactians as thanks for their victory over the Spartans in the Peloponnesian War. The figure shows Nike in mid-flight, descending towards the earth with her flowing garments suggesting movement and lightness. Originally, the sculpture measured about 3 meters in height and was placed on an 8-meter triangular base, giving it an imposing presence in the sanctuary of Olympia. Its dynamic posture and the detailed work in the drapery of the dress exemplify the technical mastery and aesthetic sense of Greek art of the time. The Nike of Pyos is significant for its innovative representation of the figure in motion and for expressing emotions through form and gesture. The sculpture captures a fleeting moment, conveying the sense of the goddess gently landing, marking an advance in the exploration of movement in Greek sculpture. The work is a valuable source of study on the artistic practices and religious beliefs of ancient Greece. Its beauty and elegance continue to inspire admiration and reflect the classical ideal of harmony between form and content. Number 18. Moses. Michelangelo. Rome, Italy. Michelangelo's Moses is one of the most prominent sculptures of the Italian Renaissance. Created between 1513 and 1515, the work is part of the tomb project of Pope Julius II and is located in the Basilica of San Pietro in Vincoli in Rome. The sculpture, carved from Carrara marble, depicts the biblical prophet Moses seated with the tablets of the law under his right arm. Michelangelo captures Moses's intensity and strength through his facial expression and powerful posture. The anatomical details, such as tense muscles and prominent veins, demonstrate the artist's mastery in representing the human body. A notable feature is the horns on Moses's head, resulting from a mistranslation of the Hebrew word keren, which can mean horns or rays of light. The work is famous for its realism and for the contained emotion it conveys. According to legend, Michelangelo struck the statue's knee and exclaimed, "Why don't you speak?" impressed by the vitality he had managed to infuse into the marble. Moses is an exceptional example of how art can combine technical and expressive aspects to create a work that transcends time. The sculpture has influenced numerous artists and continues to be a subject of study and admiration, reflecting Michelangelo's genius and his contribution to art and Western culture. Number 17. Bronze David. Donatello. Donatello's Bronze David, created around 1440, is one of the most important sculptures of the early Renaissance. This work, located in the Bargello National Museum in Florence, Italy, is notable for being the first full-body nude sculpture since classical antiquity and for its innovation in representing the human body. The sculpture depicts the young David, the biblical hero who defeated the giant Goliath. David stands on the severed head of Goliath, holding the enemy's sword. His relaxed and contrapposto posture, with a slight hip tilt, adds naturalism and elegance to the figure. The use of bronze and attention to detail in facial features and hair texture demonstrate Donatello's technical skill. Bronze David is significant for its combination of classical elements and new approaches in art. The representation of the male nude celebrates the beauty of the human body and reflects the rediscovery of classical aesthetic ideals. Additionally, the work explores themes of youth, virtue, and victory over adversity. This sculpture marked a milestone in art history, influencing later artists such as Michelangelo. Donatello's David remains a fundamental piece for understanding the development of the Renaissance and the evolution of Western sculpture. Number 16. The Dying Gaul. Capitoline Museums, Rome. The Dying Gaul is a celebrated Hellenistic sculpture depicting a wounded Gallic warrior in his final moments of life. Created in the 3rd century BC, the work is a Roman marble copy of a Greek bronze original and is exhibited in the Capitoline Museums in Rome. The sculpture was commissioned to commemorate the victory of Attalus I of Pergamon over the Gauls in Asia Minor. The figure shows the warrior seated on the ground, supporting himself with one hand while the other rests on his leg. His expression of pain and resignation, along with the realistic details of his wound and tense musculature, convey profound humanity and nobility. Distinctive features such as the mustache and torque necklace identify the warrior as a Gaul. The Dying Gaul is praised for its ability to evoke empathy and for its innovative representation of the enemy with dignity and respect. The work is a distinguished example of Hellenistic art, which sought to express emotions and capture dramatic moments. The sculpture has influenced European art for centuries, serving as inspiration for artists of the Renaissance and Neoclassicism. Its study provides valuable insights into ancient sculpture and the representation of the human figure in moments of suffering and valor. Number 15. Discobolus. Myron. The Discobolus is a famous sculpture created by Greek artist Myron around 450 BC. The original bronze work has been lost, but its legacy endures through several Roman marble copies, the most famous of which is in the National Roman Museum in Italy. The sculpture depicts an athlete at the peak of throwing a discus, capturing a dynamic and harmonious pose. The discobolus is emblematic for its representation of movement and balance, reflecting the Greek ideals of beauty and proportion. The figure combines tension and fluidity, showing a deep knowledge of anatomy and the ability to freeze a moment in time. The work is significant in art history for its innovation in representing the body in action and for establishing aesthetic standards in classical sculpture. The discobolus has been studied and admired for centuries, influencing Renaissance art and the development of academicism in Europe. The sculpture continues to be a symbol of ancient Greece's athletic and artistic excellence, representing the pursuit of perfection in body and spirit. Number 14. The Kiss. Auguste Rodin. The Kiss is one of the most recognized works of French sculptor Auguste Rodin. Originally conceived as part of The Gates of Hell, the sculpture became an independent work due to its powerful depiction of love and passion. Created in 1882, the most famous marble version is exhibited at the Rodin Museum in Paris. The work depicts two lovers in an intimate and passionate embrace. The characters are Paolo and Francesca, figures from Dante's Divine Comedy, who fall in love and are condemned to the second circle of hell for their adultery. Rodin captures the moment of surrender and desire with a realism and sensitivity that convey universal emotions. The sculpture is notable for its detailed anatomical representation and the way the figures intertwine, creating a harmonious composition. The Kiss challenged conventions of its time for its bold exploration of sensuality and physical love. The work has had a lasting impact on art and popular culture, becoming an icon of romantic expression. Rodin's The Kiss continues to inspire viewers and artists, reflecting the power of art to communicate the deepest human feelings. Number 13. Mount Rushmore. South Dakota, USA. Mount Rushmore is a national monument located in the Black Hills of South Dakota, USA. Carved between 1927 and 1941 by sculptor Gutzon Borglum and his son Lincoln Borglum, the monument features the faces of 4 American presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Each face measures approximately 18 meters high and represents fundamental ideals in American history: the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the nation. The project involved more than 400 workers and combined sculpting and construction techniques on a large scale. Mount Rushmore is both an artistic and engineering feat and has become a national symbol and a major tourist attraction. However, the monument is also controversial because it is built on sacred land for the Lakota Sioux, raising debates about land ownership and the recognition of Native American rights. The monument continues to be an iconic place reflecting the complex aspects of American identity and history, inviting reflection on the legacy and values represented by these leaders. Number 12. The Ecstasy of St Teresa. Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Rome, Italy. The Ecstasy of St Teresa is a Baroque sculpture created by Gian Lorenzo Bernini between 1647 and 1652. Located in the Cornaro Chapel of the Church of Santa Maria della Vittoria in Rome, the work represents a mystical vision of Saint Teresa of Avila, a 16th-century Spanish nun and reformer. The sculpture shows Saint Teresa at a moment of spiritual ecstasy, with an angel holding a golden arrow symbolizing divine love. Bernini uses marble for the figures and gilded bronze for the rays of light emanating from behind, creating a dramatic and theatrical effect. The work is an outstanding example of Baroque art for its combination of sculpture, architecture, and light to emotionally engage the viewer. Bernini captures the intensity of St. Teresa's spiritual experience, conveying deep emotions through facial expression and body position. The Ecstasy of St. Teresa is widely considered one of Bernini's masterpieces in Western art. The sculpture has influenced the way the divine and the mystical are represented in art, highlighting sculpture's ability to express the ineffable. Number 11. Laocoon and His Sons. Vatican Museums, Vatican City. The sculptural group, Laocoon and His Sons, is a Hellenistic work depicting the Trojan priest Laocoon and his two sons being attacked by sea serpents. Discovered in 1506 in Rome and now located in the Vatican Museums, the sculpture is attributed to Rhodian artists Agesander, Polydorus, and Athenodorus of Rhodes, dating to the 1st century BC. The work captures a moment of intense struggle and despair, showing Laocoon and his sons entangled in the serpents sent by the gods as punishment for trying to warn the Trojans about the wooden horse left by the Greeks. The dynamic composition and facial expressions reflect the character's suffering and helplessness. Laocoon and His Sons is considered a pinnacle of ancient sculpture for its ability to convey emotions and for its technical mastery in representing movement and human anatomy. The sculpture has had a significant influence on Renaissance and Baroque art, inspiring artists such as Michelangelo. The work remains a subject of study and admiration, representing the aesthetic ideals and narrative complexities of Hellenistic art. Number 10. The Terracotta Army. Xi'an, China. The Terracotta Army is a remarkable collection of thousands of terracotta warriors and horses buried with China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, around 210 to 209 BC. Discovered in 1974 by local farmers near Xi'an, the site is part of the Emperor's Mausoleum and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Each figure is unique in terms of facial features, clothing, and weaponry, reflecting different military ranks and realistic details. There are estimated to be over 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots with 520 horses, and 150 cavalry horses. The figures were designed to protect the emperor in the afterlife and demonstrate his power and ability to command military forces. The Terracotta Army is significant for its scale, craftsmanship, and for providing valuable information about ancient China's art, culture, and military organization. The site continues to be the subject of archaeological excavations and studies, revealing new findings and conservation challenges. The impressive magnitude and detail of the figures make the Terracotta Army one of the 20th century's most important archaeological discoveries and a renowned tourist attraction. Number 9. Moai, Easter Island, Chile. The Moai are enormous monolithic statues carved by the Rapa Nui people on the remote Easter Island between the 13th and 16th centuries. Approximately 900 moai have been identified, scattered across the island, primarily on ceremonial platforms called AHU. Carved from volcanic tuff from the Rano Raraku crater, the moai represent human faces with stylized features, including disproportionately large heads, prominent brows, and long noses. They are believed to symbolize important ancestors and played a role in rituals and beliefs about fertility and prosperity. The construction and transport of these massive statues, which can weigh up to 82 tons and measure over 10 meters tall, demonstrate remarkable technical and organizational skills. The methods used to move the moai remain a subject of research and fascination. The moai are a symbol of the rich culture and mystery of Easter Island. They have raised questions about the Rapa Nui society's ecological and social collapse, serving as a warning and a subject of study on sustainability and human impact on the environment. Number 8. Christ the Redeemer, Paul Lewandowski, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Christ the Redeemer is a monumental statue of Jesus of Nazareth with outstretched arms, located atop Corcovado Hill in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Inaugurated in 1931, the statue stands 30 meters tall, excluding its 8-meter pedestal, and has an arm span of 28 meters. Designed by Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa and created by French sculptor Paul Landowski, the statue is made of reinforced concrete and clad with thousands of soapstone tiles, giving it a smooth and weather-resistant appearance. Christ the Redeemer is a symbol of Christianity and a cultural icon of Brazil, representing the hospitality and warmth of the Brazilian people. The statue has become one of the new 7 wonders of the modern world and attracts millions of visitors who enjoy panoramic views of the city. The image of Christ the Redeemer is recognized worldwide and has played a role in cultural, religious, and sporting events, cementing its place as one of the world's most iconic monuments. Number 7. Statue of Liberty. Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, New York, USA. The Statue of Liberty, officially named Liberty Enlightening the World, is a monument located on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. Inaugurated in 1886, it was a gift from France to the United States to commemorate the friendship between the two nations and the centenary of American independence. Designed by French sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, with the internal structure created by Gustave Eiffel, the statue stands 46 meters tall and 93 meters including its pedestal. It depicts a woman embodying liberty, holding a torch in her right hand and a tablet with the date of the Declaration of Independence in her left. At her feet, broken chains symbolize the abolition of oppression. The Statue of Liberty is a universal symbol of freedom and democracy, and has welcomed millions of immigrants who came to the United States seeking a better life. The monument is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and continues to be a significant tourist and cultural attraction. The statue has been restored and maintained over the years, preserving its historical significance and its impact on national and international identity. Number 6. The Great Sphinx of Giza, Egypt. The Great Sphinx of Giza is a monumental sculpture located on the Giza Plateau, near the Great Pyramids in Egypt. With the body of a lion and the head of a human, the Sphinx measures 73 meters in length and 20 meters in height, making it one of the largest and oldest monolithic statues in the world. Carved directly from the limestone bedrock during the reign of Pharaoh Khafra around 2500 BC, the Sphinx is believed to represent the pharaoh himself and symbolizes power and wisdom. The sculpture has suffered erosion and damage over millennia but remains an iconic image of ancient civilization. The Great Sphinx has been a subject of fascination and study, generating multiple theories about its construction, purpose, and possible hidden chambers. Its mystery and majesty have inspired legends and influenced art and culture worldwide. The Sphinx continues to be an enduring symbol of human ingenuity and a testament to the cultural and architectural wealth of ancient Egypt. Number 5. Venus de Milo, Louvre Museum, Paris. The Venus de Milo is a celebrated Greek sculpture representing Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. Discovered in 1820 on the island of Milos in the Aegean Sea, the statue dates to around 130 to 100 BC and is attributed to sculptor Alexandros of Antioch. Carved from marble and standing 2.04 meters tall, the Venus de Milo is known for its elegance and for the absence of its arms, adding an air of mystery. The sculpture shows the goddess with a slight drapery falling over her hips, revealing the body's form with subtle sensuality. The work is an outstanding example of Hellenistic art, combining classical elements and a more dynamic and realistic expression. The Venus de Milo has influenced the perception of ideal beauty in Western art and continues to be one of the most visited and admired pieces at the Louvre Museum in Paris. The sculpture represents aesthetic perfection and has inspired countless artists, writers, and philosophers, cementing its place as a cultural icon of universal reach. Number 4. Winged Victory of Samothrace. Louvre Museum, Paris. The Winged Victory of Samothrace, also known as the Nike of Samothrace, is an impressive Hellenistic sculpture representing the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. Created around 190 BC, the statue was discovered in 1863 on the island of Samothrace and is exhibited at the Louvre Museum in Paris. The sculpture, made of marble, shows the winged goddess perched on the prow of a ship, with her garments billowing in the wind. It stands 5.57 meters tall, including the base, and is celebrated for its dynamism and realism. Although the head and arms are missing, the work conveys a powerful sense of movement and triumph. The Winged Victory of Samothrace is considered a masterpiece of Hellenistic art for its bold composition and its ability to evoke emotion and energy. The sculpture has influenced Western art and culture, serving as a symbol of victory and freedom. Located in a prominent position in the Louvre, the work continues to impress millions of visitors and is a lasting testament to the artistic genius of antiquity. Number 3. The Thinker. Auguste Rodin. The Thinker is one of the world's most recognized sculptures, created by French artist Auguste Rodin. Originally conceived as part of The Gates of Hell, the figure became an autonomous work around 1880. The sculpture depicts a man sitting in deep contemplation, with his chin resting on one hand and his elbow on his knee. The pose reflects concentration and questioning, symbolizing the creative process and the intellectual quest. The Thinker has been interpreted as a representation of Dante Alighieri, the poet of the Divine Comedy, or as a universal personification of philosophy and human reflection. Rodin captures the muscular tension and emotional intensity, demonstrating his ability to convey psychological complexity through physical form. Multiple bronze versions of The Thinker exist in museums and public spaces worldwide. The work has influenced modern art and continues to be a symbol of the human condition and the power of thought. Number 2. The Pietà. Michelangelo. St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City. The Pietà is a marble sculpture created by Michelangelo Buonarroti between 1498 and 1499. Located in St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, it is the only work the artist signed. The sculpture represents the Virgin Mary holding the lifeless body of Jesus after the crucifixion. The work is notable for its beauty, balance, and detail. Michelangelo achieved harmony between the figures despite differences in scale and conveyed a profound emotion of serenity and compassion. The youthful face of Mary and the triangular composition add to the aesthetic perfection of the piece. The Pietà was sculpted when Michelangelo was in his early 20s and is considered one of his early masterpieces. The sculpture has been admired for its impeccable technique and its ability to express universal feelings of love and grief. The work has influenced generations of artists and remains a pinnacle in Western art history, reflecting Michelangelo's genius and his contribution to the Renaissance. Number 1. David. Michelangelo. Florence, Italy. Michelangelo's David is one of the most iconic sculptures of the Renaissance and one of the world's most famous works of art. Carved between 1501 and 1504, the 5.17-meter-tall marble statue represents the biblical hero David before his battle against Goliath. Originally commissioned for the Cathedral of Florence, the sculpture was placed in Piazza della Signoria as a symbol of the Republic's defense of civil liberties. The David shows a young man in the prime of life, with an expression of concentration and determination. The anatomical details and the contrapposto posture demonstrate Michelangelo's mastery in representing the human body. The work is significant for its representation of the human ideal and for capturing the moment before action, conveying tension and contained energy. The David reflects the humanist values of the Renaissance and the admiration for classical antiquity. Currently, the sculpture is located in the Galleria dell'Accademia in Florence, protected and displayed for millions of visitors. Michelangelo's David remains a symbol of artistic perfection and a testament to the creative genius that has influenced art and culture for over 5 centuries. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.